Hey everyone, this is Angie Norris, and I am going to give you a tour of our camper at the beach. So when we get out of the truck, this is my husband's truck. This is the side that we pull up on where the parking area is. Little, not much of a parking area, but a little gravel driveway there. And our camper is a 42-foot fifth wheel by Cedar Creek, and it is called the Silverback Edition, if you can see that there. And so this is the high end where the hitch is, and we have closed that in and made storage there. And then we have a slide out here and here. So that's our bedroom. That is our bunk room. Second room. Actually, there's 3 slide outs. And then this third one here, you can see the little bit of a division there. So we actually have 2 side by side. This is our living room. And so anyway, that's kind of what the camper looks like from the back. And then, hang on, I'm walking around. So this is the front, and we have a deck, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. This is a barn, a storage building barn that my husband stores things in, but it's also completely finished on the inside. It has a heating unit and an air conditioning unit, and we have a sofa bed in there so that when we have guests, they have someplace completely private to stay. Then we have a little cover here for our golf cart. And then you start to walk up on our deck. So on the front side of the camper is one big slide out, and that is where the other side of the living room is. So this is what we have done this weekend, that we worked on the weekend. So we had a little area right here where the grass didn't grow. And so we decided to fill that in with some multicolored rocks. And the reason that we didn't go with white is because our camper is not white. It is a beige color, and you can see all these different colors here in the color scheme. It's, got like a rust and a brown, tan. So we decided to go with the multicolor rocks that would complement the color of our camper. Our underpinning right there is also tan. So, and then we put a tall hibiscus plant in a planter there. So we did that. Now, I've always had these planters up on my deck, but I did just repot those a couple of weeks ago. So they've been repotted. This spiky grass, it never dies, but I usually do change out the flowers. And so those are Dipladenia. Whoops, I missed a step there. Not watching where I'm walking. So let me flip you around. This is our building that I was just telling you about. Just ignore that. That's part of something that goes on the back of my husband's truck, and he took it off because we were having to go get loads of mulch. And so this is the new flower bed that we have been working on all weekend. And even though we did it, I absolutely think it turned out gorgeous. So my husband, back in February, put the border down, the bricks. He did this curved pattern, and then like the next time we came down, which was maybe a couple 3 weeks later, he put topsoil down. And then this past weekend we planted all of these flowers, and so that in itself was a job, but I think it turned out gorgeous. And so I have a couple of flamingos in it, which they need repainting. They've been down here forever. I keep a flag on this end, and I do kind of have a flamingo theme going on. Got a little turtle here. So we have a diplodenia. We have some petunias, scattered throughout. This is an oleander plant, and when it blooms, it will bloom pink. That's an Asiatic lily. That's a hibiscus. This is a verbena. That is a cordyline plant, and some cordyline plants do not do well in full sun, but these do. They're supposed to be full sun. And this doesn't get full sun all day, but it does get a lot in the afternoon. Another diplodenia, petunia, Asiatic lily, hibiscus, kind of a repeating pattern. That's a different color lily. Until got another verbena down here. Have a few little yard art things here. This is a lighthouse, another pink flamingo, but just getting the whole view of it, I just think it turned out so pretty. Very tropical. Now, we do not live down here full time, so we have set up soaker hoses within the mulch, and then we put mulch on top of it, and we have it set up to water on a regular basis. So I'm hoping when we come back down that we might still have some flowers. We'll have to see. And then on this end, we did the same thing with the rocks and the tall hibiscus. This is, now excuse our deck, we have someone who is coming to pressure wash the deck and restain it. We have had this deck for 7 summers. And so it really does, it's never been pressure washed, and it really needs to be pressure washed because we're under a tree at the end of the camper. But this is, I have a couple of chairs out here with a little table, and then that right there is a huge umbrella. I mean, it really is. It's huge, and it tilts. So in the summertime, I can open that to keep some of the sun off of me. It has lights up underneath it. And so we just really enjoy our place here at the beach. And then coming down off this side of the camper, we have a little small patio here that also needs pressure washing. And then we have these 2 live oak trees that, as you can see, give us a lot of shade on this end of the camper. But because of that, the grass does not really grow here. There's a lot of leaves. And look, guys, you see all these leaves down here? It was very windy here yesterday, but on Friday afternoon, we raked and bagged up 14 bags of leaves. And there's already this many more. But we did get the chunk of them up. And as you can see in my flower bed already, when we were here 2 weekends ago, we replanted this one for the summer, and I did not do many flowering plants in this one. I primarily did shade-loving plants, hostas and calendia, things like that, that will, I do have a few coleus, small coleus that hopefully will continue to grow. But I primarily did shade-loving plants over here because this bed doesn't really get any sun, very, very little. So we actually replanted this bed 2 weekends ago and put black mulch down. And as you can see, that black mulch is now covered with leaves. So my husband blew it out with the leaf blower, but it comes right back. So it's not as starkly contrasting right now as the other bed was, but we just love it. And so this is the end of our camper from the street, from the next street over. Like I said, it's a Cedar Creek Silverback edition, and we just love it. So we've been down here, this is our 8th year, and 2 years ago, this will be the 3rd summer, 2 years ago in April, we created this flower bed around these 2 trees. And I've had this will be the 3rd summer. But this flower bed we just added, that flower bed and this here at the end of each end of the camper with the hibiscus. So we are very excited because we just think it is so pretty. It just makes the curb appeal of our campsite look even better, and we love it. But we have worked hard this weekend. We are exhausted because we just did a lot of work in this yard this weekend, getting all these flowers planted, the soaker hoses down, the timer set up so that hopefully the plants don't die, and then the mulch put down. But yeah, we're down near Snead's Ferry, North Carolina, on the Intercoastal Waterway. I don't know that you can see the water. Let me show you. So we're not right on the waterfront. Our campsite is not. But I will show you how close we are. I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me make it bigger. I don't think you can see the water. But down, let me get it to focus. At the end of the road, those are like the grassy area before you get to the water. But we are on the Intercoastal Waterway. I'll do a little video and maybe add it to the end of this one to show you. But we love it. We absolutely love it. Y'all have a blessed day.